I know that this was a David Bowie song. Was the film inspired by that song?
Um, Gosh, I never asked the writer that question. That's so funny. I never ever asked her. But I know that she saw Kyle's character, Alex, as a space oddity. I think I mean, the song is about somebody who wants to go to Mars and die there, right? So,
exactly.
Yes, actually, I think that sounds absolutely right now that I'm puzzling it out.
Doing it.
Sorry about that. I should have asked myself this question. But yeah, I think so. I'm not sure if it was an inspiration, but I think it's a great title and it's a great song.
It is a great song, but I had to ask that first. I would be remiss in not asking that first. And then I want to get this answer from all of you ladies. There's a line in the movie where Alex says, "Everything that makes us great was once an insane idea." What is the most insane idea you have ever had? And I'll start with Alexandra first.
Becoming an actor.
Yeah.
I think that was the most insane thing. I started in theater when I was 10, and I always was like, this is what I want to do. This is who I want to be. And from friends to teachers to family members, everyone thought that was crazy and not a possibility. And I think that at least growing up, they're like, is that a career? And I was like, well, they don't pay us in Monopoly money, it is something real, and it is something that I believe in, and I do it because it's something that I love, and I've always loved doing it. I think that was the most insane thing for my whole childhood, was just people being like, and she's not going to play any sports. And like, what about like debate team or something? And it was like, no, it's theater, it's singing, it's dancing, it's theater.
You are hilarious. You did not say they do not play us in Monopoly money. That was pure comedy. Madeline, what would you say?
The most insane thing, I have lived by the rule book, I think, in a lot of ways. Dating an actor. No, I'm just kidding.
Wrong.
Hashtag facts.
3% of the time, and you and Kevin are of the 3%.
Yes.
I would say I've really not done many crazy things. I mean, like Alex, sometimes I do think, what am I doing here? Like, why couldn't I just had something else in my heart that I really, really loved? Like anything else, but there is nothing else. And I am insane about this career and about this job and about this work. I'm truly a looney tune about it. I go full balls to the wall when it comes to this job. And that's the craziest thing about me, I think.
As I have seen numerous times from you.
I get to play crazy a lot too, so that's.
But you know what? All three of you ladies, from an acting perspective, are just phenomenal. You guys take so many risks with your art that is really exciting and beautiful to watch. So I just want to say that while I'm talking to you. And if you could just round out that question for me, Kyra, I'd appreciate it.
Oh, yeah. I think the most insane thing I ever did was to get married at 23. My whole family was like, what are you doing? Why are you doing this? And I was like, because it's absolutely the right thing to do. I had no doubts at all. And it was like, it felt like something I had to do, wanted to do. But when I think about it, when I think about who I was at 23, when I think about what a child I was, how little I knew about anything, and what I'd come from.
Yeah.
I thought that marriage could even work, like at all, is just, that's an insane idea. But, it was it was an insane idea that worked out. Yeah. It could have easily gone another way. Yeah. And then we'd be having a different conversation.
Worked out.
Yeah.
By the way. Like,
it worked out tremendously, by the way.
Worked out really well. That's real.
Yeah.
So far, so good. I'll give it 6 months.
Yeah.
That's pure comedy. I cannot. So Alex dreams of going, well, he does dream of going to Mars, and, he has that whole situation going on. But have y'all ever thought about like what life would be on another planet? This is what I really loved. Before you answer that, this is what I really loved about the beginning of the film, Kyra, that whole montage where it shows the pod of what it would look like to live on Mars. Yeah. I was like, oh, that looks kind of cute. I think I might want to live there. So that's why I'm asking that question, because as I watched it, I was like, that's a question. And people have been going to the moon lately, taking these trips to the moon, exploring places other than Earth to live. I just wanted to get you all's thoughts about that. And this time I'll start with Kyra.
Oh God, I think it would be awful. Absolutely horrible. It's totally uninhabitable. Mars is completely uninhabitable. We'll have to spend the whole time in giant suits the whole time, or inside. There's, I mean, you go outside and your skin burns because it's too cold. There's no water. We have everything here. This is nirvana. Like, we on Earth, we have everything. And the idea that we would go somewhere that has, negative anything, I mean, is just insane to me. So I think it would be horrible for one. I'm completely uninterested in it.
Same. I'm an earthling. I am an earthling. I don't want to go too low. I don't want to dive too deep into the ocean. I don't want to go too high. Just leave me right here in my perfect. There are trees here. Why would I leave?
You said there are trees here.
Trees are my favorite thing. Why would I leave?
Yes.
There are books here.
Yeah.
There are other people here.
Literally that. I mean, I just feel like in watching that first, montage in the beginning, look, I like camping. I do. I like camping.
You are oddity, honey, because
I do not want to live camping.
No pun intended, because ain't no black people trying to camp.
No, and it is a glamp. Don't get me wrong. It is. But at the same time, like, it just feels like a lot of work. And I like running water, and I like hiking, and I love sunsets and these beautiful things that we have on this planet. And I like going and camping and then coming back to reality of busy life. But no, thank you. No, thank you.
There's so many things I don't like about the industrialization of the world. Okay, don't get me wrong, and that's like totally a part of the movie.
Yeah,
but I like it here. I want more green things.
Yeah.
But I like it.
Everyone needs more.
Yeah.
Everybody needs more green things, yeah.
I like going to the forest. I'm a city girl.
We're just like waxing poetic about how much we love the earth.
We love the earth. I love the earth.
I love the earth.
I would intergalactically travel if it were to a planet that was similar to ours.
Never. Keep me here.
I think that would be really cool. But like, I'm a Trekkie, so I'm like, ooh, what kind of planet?
She is
that's
a Trekkie.
fun.
Oh my God.
I love that. Like, I love the idea of discovering new worlds that are similar to ours. I see you, world. I was a horror for Halloween last year. But I think that I think that the reality is that like we don't have that, and we won't see that in our lifetime. So I'm not trying to like colonize the desert. The cold desert. Like, that doesn't make any sense. I'm from the desert. I'm okay without it. You know what I mean?
I feel you on that one all day long. Let's talk about your characters a little bit. Madeline, I don't think I've ever seen you play somebody like Liz, and she was kind of hilarious, but not all at the same time. How did you feel about inhabiting that type of character for once, and not something that is so dark and intense like what you had been doing on Handmaid's Tale?
Yeah, I was very lucky that Kyra, I felt like, I've not played this. You can't watch my reel and see me do anything like this. And it was really
exactly
Kyra that I was so glad you took a chance on me. And I loved finding Liz's humor and her like little one-liney jabby things that she does. I said earlier about her, she does no harm, but she takes no shit. And I loved the idea of playing an older sister. I'm not an older sister, but I have many younger family members that I love to tell them what to do with their lives. I love that energy of an elder sibling, who just wants the best for you, but almost to a point where they want to micromanage you. And I love the idea also of being not born an older sibling, but becoming an older sibling. And what that means for her, and kind of spending time with that. And then also there's that built-in storyline for her of like, I'm like a bigwig in the city and I don't belong here, but actually this is where my heart is. And coming to that truth with herself and no longer denying it, and no longer allowing anybody else in her family to deny it either. It was such a joy to play her. Such a joy.
Look at you being all deep.
That's so good.
Don't you, girl?
Oh, yeah,
I'm over here about to cry.
These girls are deep.
Of course, that's true. You're right. You did me.
All right.
Sis.
All right, Alexandra, it's your turn. Let's talk a little bit about Daisy.
What was the question again? I got lost. I'm so sorry.
That's quite all right. As with Madeline, I have not seen you do these types of characters before, right? I have not seen you do a Daisy before. So what was it about Daisy that attracted you to wanting to play her?
I think what I love about Daisy is it's really toxic. I love her pain. Like, I really did love diving into the darkness of Daisy and how she was able to pull herself out of it. And I think in a lot of ways, there's a strength to Daisy that's not only pulling herself with one hand, but also reaching back to bring someone with her. And I loved how she did that for Alex in this movie and did it without being asked and did it without preaching. And just existed in this place of everything's going to be okay, even though it wasn't that for her as well. You know, I think that there was so much strength in Daisy that I was just like, man, I want to play someone like that. It's rare that you get to play people that you look up to and want to be like. And I got a chance to do that and just be like, okay, here's the brighter silver lining side of this. And here's how I'm just going to help you. She led by example in a lot of ways, and did it wholeheartedly and did it completely and utterly unafraid. And it was just really cool to be able to play that. I haven't had an opportunity to do that.
I know this. I've seen a lot of your work. I've seen all your works. I'm telling you, I'm a fan of all three of you.
Yeah.
Like for real, for real. And Daisy was kind of a bit of a badass a little bit in a very unconventional kind of way. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's cool to be able to kind of float in between that.
Yeah, absolutely. Kyra, directing, which do you enjoy more? Sitting in the director's chair or in those actors' chairs?
Yeah, at this point, it's no contest. I love directing. I really love it. It feels like what I'm supposed to be doing right now, you know? So funny, I'm like sitting here listening to these phenomenal actresses talk about loving their parts. Nothing makes me happier than to like give actors great parts to play, you know? That's why it was so important that even the small parts to have something really juicy and playable. And also just, I love being in charge of the storytelling. A bigger part of the storytelling feels really important to me. And you know, I love that Joey Soloway coined this phrase, female gaze. And I just think we need more and more of it. Just like we need more women in, you know, heads of corporations so that they can like bring other women along. Like we need more women telling stories because we live in a patriarchy. And so we have to see stories through women's point of view. So
absolutely. And which brings me to this point, You are directing these lovely, lovely women. What was it about Madeline and Alexandra that made you go, that's Daisy and that's Liz?
You know, it's so funny because Madeline was Liz for such a long time that like I don't remember ever thinking that she wasn't Liz. So I don't know. I watched, I mean, I've seen a lot of her work, but then I also watched like her reel and there was just a lot of different colors, shapes, and sizes. And so that felt really interesting to me. And then when I spoke to her, she's like, so totally got her. And I love that concept. And you talked about it, like being an older sibling. And also, I think I see a little bit of like the controller in Madeline, you know, and so, and Liz is so scared and that's why she needs to control so much, right? Like, why do we ever like control is because we're fucking terrified. And Alexandra, it's funny because one of the reasons why I knew, like I felt so confident and excited to hire her was because I knew she didn't have a part like this before. And I felt like she was just going to go, So, you know, I mean, she couldn't be like more beautiful and more watchable. And you saw a little bit of it in Love, Simon, but like tiny little moments. And I was like, oh my God, we had like this girl deserves her own movie. And like, you know, so I felt really, with both of them, I felt really like these two are going to like really take advantage of these parts, because it's not like they're coming their way all the time. They will now. And they are now, but so I think that was also a good part of it. You want someone to be like dying to play the part. And so I got that from both of them as well. Yeah.
I love that. Now that Kyra has talked about you ladies, I want you to talk about what it was like to work with Kyra. Because as Kyra said, we're living in an era now in the film industry where we're starting to see more women take the helm. We're starting to see more women take charge on a production. So talk to me a little bit about what that was like working with Kyra. And I'll start with Alexandra first.
How much time do we have left in this interview? It is true what Kyra said, but I think also it's a testament to who she is, not only as an incredible actress, but as an incredible human being. The amount of love and space that she held for us on set. And I think that really creates an environment in which we can have some of that movie magic that everyone hopes to see in a film, working on a film, what have you. So it was really nice to be able to have that. But she's so brilliant and intelligent, and that brilliance is not just intellect, it's this light that shines out of every pore in her that just
truly a sunshine person.
Truly a sunshine person. Yeah. That like you need to please, you need to like worship, you need to like, you want to give your best to her. Not just when she's directing, but just hanging out. You know what I mean? And I admire her so much, and I've admired her career. And after meeting her, I was really excited to work with her because I knew that she understood the assignment of this movie. And then getting the pleasure to watch her actually do that every day was just something that like, I think that we need, and rarely do I get to work with a female director. Rarely do I get to work with a female actor's director, and I just felt really lucky.
Yeah.
Aww. You have anything to add to that, Madeline? Are you verklempt now, Kyra? Are you just like
yeah, a little bit.
There is something. I am lucky that I have worked with a lot of women directors, and it is truly far and away my favorite thing in the world. Like it's a different understanding of character. If you are playing a woman, which I always will do because that is what I am, or an alien maybe, but whatever, to have someone who innately understands your world and wants to honor it and wants to talk about it and really get in there. And some directors, and I haven't really worked with any director, honestly, that I haven't found my way. But like you said with Kyra, there is a desire to be like, what do you want from me? Let's do it. Let's get in there. Like, I want to do what you want. Your vision is so strong. You're so generous with your spirit and with your mind and your artistry. And, you kind of, it's what happens to you when you're on a set full of wonderful people. You want to meet. Everybody wants to meet each other up there, and you really set the bar on set. I will say that Kyra, on more than one occasion, because I have a tendency to do this, Kyra would grab me by the shoulders and go, just stay still, just right here. And she's like, this is like, but she was like, this is so powerful. This is it. And I'm like, oh my God, what have I been doing? But it's like to hear that from an actress you admire, obviously, and a director that you admire, and to really feel like, I don't know, like I'm getting a masterclass. It's like a really cool, and now I look for it. I look for it in my tapes. I look for it in films. I look for it. I'm like, who's here? Like, who's in it with me?
Listen, I'm waiting for the project that stars all three of y'all, because y'all have insane chemistry together. Insane. So thank you. That is my time. I wish I could talk to y'all a little longer, because you are absolutely fantabulous. Thank you, Madeline Brewer. Thank you, Alexandra Shipp. And thank you, Miss Kyra Sedgwick, for talking to me, Carla Renata, for the Cherry Picks. I so appreciate you.